Welcome to the Huddle Sports Network, where we're breaking boundaries and redefining podcasting. Broadcasting live on 6 different platforms, we're bringing you the latest in sports like never before. Imagine tuning into real-time discussions, expert analyses, and fan interactions all at your fingertips. Each platform offers a unique experience, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch. We're not just sharing stories, we're creating a community of passionate sports enthusiasts. Join us as we dive deep into the evolution of podcasting, where every episode is a chance to engage, debate, and celebrate the world of sports. This is where your voice matters and the game never stops. Welcome to the Huddle Sports Network, where we're breaking boundaries and redefining podcasting. Broadcasting live on 6 different platforms, we're bringing you the latest in sports like never before, where sports passion meets podcasting brilliance. I'm Mike, the Bear fan, and alongside Bill, the Packer fan, and our buddy Ken Catalone, we're bringing you an incredible lineup of 38 diverse podcasters. Each one brings their unique flavor to the table, covering everything from game analysis to behind-the-scenes stories. Imagine diving deep into the minds of experts who live and breathe football, sharing insights that you won't find anywhere else.
Good afternoon.
Show up here locally in the community. Make sure y'all go check out Kneecap Body by Jeremy Campbell.
Good afternoon. That's right. So now that all the trolling's done, let's talk about some things that have Jaguars fire Trent day late and a dollar short. The Lions have some finalists involved in all of the NFL honors this week. Jared Goff is a finalist for MVP. Not saying he'll win it, but he's there. Coaching wise, Dan Campbell is a finalist for Coach of the Year. Assistant Coaches of the Year is Ben Johnson, and Aaron Glenn is up for it as well. As far as Defensive Player of the Year, Kirby got snubbed. And even though he had more touchdowns than anybody other than quarterbacks, Jahmyr Gibbs was snubbed off of Offensive Player of the Year. You know what's funny is Lamar Jackson and the other guy that was up there is in the Offensive Player of the Year. But you know who's not there? Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen gets the MVP. How you doing, broski? Good to see you. What up, no? And AG gave his list of people that he's going to be interviewing. And it's quite extensive. And I think the one guy on this list is gone already. Steve Wilkes for DC. Mark Brunell is interviewing with the Jets and Aaron Glenn to be his OC. And he kind of agreed that he'd be it if he goes. They're also interviewing Bears former interim head coach Thomas Brown, head coach Todd Haley, and Mike Westhoff should come out of retirement. And what's funny is Chris Banjo out of Alabama is being interviewed for special teams coach. I wonder if he has a banjo on his knee. That being said, that's pretty much all the news that are out there. Hank Lee came back and said he's more than likely not leaving Detroit. He turned down the offer from Seattle because it wasn't much more than he was making as our O-line coach. Yes, it is. It's the cold weather. It all the time. It's because they don't replace the outside cable wires. They run all these new lines everywhere, but they don't replace the lines coming to the house. So sorry if my internet's struggling. I agree with yours there, Broski Bear. I think it's going to be Saquon Barkley, and I think Defensive Player of the Year is more than likely going to end up Trey Hendrickson or Miles Garrett. 'Cause even though they didn't do that great with their teams didn't have that great of success. They were very successful at what they did. What about the drop off of Micah Parsons? He like fell off the earth for pressure. Howdy Keegan, Moonscar, Brent, Davey, Dale. Let's see who else we got in the chat. And Michael, I already addressed everybody else. It's rough. You know, I understand it. Fans don't get it. They don't understand. You think it's TJ Watt? I don't think TJ Watt gets it because he's had it twice already. I think it's Miles Garrett or it's Trey Hendrickson. That's just my opinion. Trey Hendrickson year, he was the only guy trying on the Bengals defense. They wouldn't have won 9 games without him. Everybody talks about Burrow putting that team on his back, but Trey Hendrickson was the only reason why that team got stopped, and he was very influential in the games they won. Yeah, but it was way too late. Deal this season, and they have a big decision to make with the little bit of money they have. Do they give it all to him and then just get, or do they let him move on? That's the big question this year. I think T. Higgins' best fit is in Green Bay. I don't think they can afford to re-sign him either because that's their choices. It's going to be, do we keep T. Higgins or Ray Hendrickson? And in all actuality, they may end up losing both. The Lions have signed 10 futures contracts and released 5 players from their practice squad so far. No surprise. Both Alexanders, Maurice and Quan, Donovan Peoples-Jones, and a couple other, Maurice Norris and one other guy. Then they re-signed Maurice Norris this morning to a futures contract. So he's back. So that's 11 guys we signed to futures contracts, 10 that were on the team, and one being Ronnie Bell, the University of Michigan. We got Pat Rothwell in the house. Yes. I do have a couple new pictures. Me. BJ said it takes more. I didn't know it was going to be like this. That's the way Caleb Daddy likes. Oh, yes. You know, I got to take shots when I can, broski, and I'm doing it this season. Why? Because it's fun. But the Bears have one thing over every other team in the North. They're the only one undefeated because they weren't in the playoffs. Oh, everybody loves that music. Oh, look, he's taking more. I love the fact that he took the pot shot, celebrating celebrating the wins that he had with Detroit over Matt LaFleur, talking about sweeping them twice. That's kind of funny out of 4 years. Uh, I think Martin's in there. I think Teddy Bridgewater ends up walking right into the quarterback room as a coach. I do think this was his last season. He came back because we were close. We were the number one seed. But I think it was a mistake to let the guys interview. Either somewhere between October 15th and Thanksgiving. Yes, Roasty Bear. October 15th is the earliest he can return because of his heavier body. Fraley turned down the OC job, and he said he's staying with Detroit. He does not want to call plays. Or maybe they're promoting him here. Maybe there's something that we don't know, but his interview at Allen Park said he's staying in Detroit for now. Where that goes, Broski Bear. I know that's going to make Frank Ragnow happy, and Taylor Decker, and Graham Glasgow, and Panay Sewell. Yeah, and it's because Fraley's loyal, more first and foremost. But Fraley hasn't publicly said he wanted to come out and call plays, though. I mean, he took the interviews because it is a promotion, right? And he turned them down. Is all I'm getting at. He turned down whatever was there. The second interview with the CA, he turned them down, came back. And yes, we do receive third this year in compensatory pick for Aaron Glenn, and we received one next year. It doesn't say anything about Johnson because it has to do with Rooney Rule minority hires. But I think it should be changed. I think they're promoting Kelvin so that there's continuity and no change as far as the overall playbook. The only thing that's going to change is how Calvin Shepard calls a game, and because he's been grooming behind Aaron Glenn the entire, and you could see at times they weren't on the same page all year. And I think he has some different ideas, and I see what they are. I think we may bring in a veteran as assistant just in case it flops. Kind of like we brought in a veteran at OC to begin with, and Anthony Lynn, he flopped, and then Dan Campbell and Ben Johnson took over for play calling to end the season, where we did go 3-2-1 to end the season. I think so too. Listen to how he talks in the interviews so far. He sounded like a DC all year. I don't think Robert Salah will take a job with the team that snubbed him and hired Dan Campbell. I think it would cause friction and it would cause a power struggle because they're both alpha males. Yes, he does. But I think Salah is not the right fit. Even though he is the same type of a defense scheme that he runs, I don't think it's a fit culturally. I think it would cause friction. I, when you're a head coach, but he's also He's interviewing with the Jacksonville Jaguars as well as Brian Flores for the head coaching position. Hello, Yoli. Safe travels to New Jersey. If you're driving, I would love for you to stop by. I'm good. Dealing with all the stuff, taking it punch by punch, because that's what we do. We're Lions fans. And you know what? While everybody's upset that these guys are getting head coaching jobs and we got to look for new assistants, we should look at it the other way. Our coaching staff is sought after. What does that say about our coaching staff? Everybody can talk all the shit they want about what it means for this, that, and the other in the future, but that doesn't matter. What does it mean right now about our coaching staff? Oh, you're flying out with your brother? Well, have a safe travel. I hope you do well. I hope it's for good reasons, like a vacation or something like that. So have a safe trip. Let me go see what else we got in Lions news today. All right, looks like we are going to pick up the fifth-year option on Aiden Hutchinson. That's being discussed right now. And they have started to talk to Kevin Zietler about possibly coming back. If Kevin Zietler comes back, I think Graham Glasgow might be out the door. We can just move Mahogany into his spot. Everybody complains that Decker had an off year, but Decker has always done better when there's a good guard next to him. Look at the years, the last 2 years prior to this, when we had good guard play next to him, he had a great year. He is one of our 11 alternates for the Pro Bowl. So tell me, who do you want for OC? Should we promote within? I think it's either going to be Hank Fraley, Scotty Montgomery, or we get somebody from outside. Oh, your brother's best friend is getting married? Awesome. So what else do you guys want to talk about? Because there isn't much left out there. We're coming up on free agency, combine. I just, you know, it sucks. Let's be honest. It sucks. And we're going through a changeover. The culture guy is still here. He did call plays for what, 6 weeks straight, end of 2021 through 2022 until he let Ben Johnson take over the reign. And our offense was successful. And those were with plays not custom tailored to golf yet. They did that more in that 2022-23 season. So let's look at this. Does anybody think that the playbook was all Ben Johnson? Or did he just incorporate more plays with Goff on top of what Dan Campbell and Ben Johnson already came up with? Think about that for a minute. Any question? There isn't much out there, guys. I just want us to get back to what we were. I'm staying a loyal fan. I'm not going anywhere. I think Tanner Engstrom is going to Chicago because he interviews with them Friday. I don't think Tanner stays. I think he could end up in Chicago. Remember, he was handpicked by Ben Johnson to come in as a former QB coach, then tight end coach and passing game coordinator out of Arizona. Good afternoon, JB. My upstairs Wi-Fi is perfect, but downstairs is super spotty. But I do shows it downstairs for private. I know. Will. I just like giving you shit because it's like Cricket Wireless all over again. Comcast is like that in the wintertime. And I think it's the sub-zero temperatures. Water gets in the lines that run from the pole to the house, causing interference. I think Hank Rayleigh ends up our OC. I just got this weird feeling. The fact he turned down the Seattle job, and he says he wants to stay after interviewing with the Bears. That, or he just loves being an O-line coach and doesn't really want to play call because he's never done it. There's that. There's that part of it too. Let's see what else they've talked about. Yeah, during Brad's press conference, the Lions will explore an extension with Kirby this offseason. They've already had conversations with Carlton Davis III. Giovanni's current practice tape compared to last year is night and day. And Holmes also says you can't pout players back to being healthy. when he was asked about how to handle the injury situation. And he's right. He was offered the Seattle job on Tuesday, either Tuesday or Wednesday, Don Burr, and he said he's staying. And this is according to what I'm getting from Allen Park. I get direct stuff. So the Defensive Player of the Year finalists are Zach Bond, Miles Garrett, Trey Hendrickson, Pat Surtain, and T.J. Watt. Eagles, Saquon Barkley, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Derrick Henry, and Lamar Jackson. He had his second interview with Seattle. He turned them down. That's what I was told, Don Burr. Second interviews are usually where the job offer happens. Third one is them accepting it and signing the contract usually on most decisions. I can't wait to see what Aaron Glenn says in his interview this afternoon, meeting with the press of the New York media. I just share what I get. And it says the Chicago Bears are not expected to hire Hank Fraley. That was the exact words that I got today. I think it is a bit of a snub. You know, you lead the league in interceptions and are fourth in tackles by safeties throughout the regular season, and it's a regular season award. I think it might be a slight snub due to the fact that coaches and players listen to the dirty talk about Kirby. I personally think he's happy just being an offensive line coach, but who knows? People can assume he wants to be an OC, but the fact he turned down one job and is not likely to be hired in Chicago tells me it might be he's happy where he's at as an offensive line coach. I'm just trying to read between the lines. I don't know. I didn't get a direct interview from Hank Fraley or anything like that, guys. So I'm not. I'm good, but I'm not that good. Can you believe that Goff made finalists for MVP? I don't. I haven't heard any more about the Dennis Allen stuff. Um, what I get is straight from Allen Park, so that's what I quote. I try not to quote the press stuff. I try not to quote anything from any of the sites. I try to quote what I hear, and I try to formulate my opinions off of that. I know that Chicago has an interview lined up with Dennis Allen too. Like I said, Robert Salah and Brian Flores are uh, trying to interview for the head coaching job of the Jaguars that not a single offensive-minded coach wanted. Wonder why? What? You mean you're not Nostradamus? No, I'm not Nostradamus. But it is weird how I say something that might happen and it does. It's happened more often than not this year, and that's crazy to me. So KCB Sports, sometimes within the next couple of weeks, the website will be up and running. I will be publishing my own articles from here on out. I'm going on my own. I will write them the way I do. I will write my news the way I do. The first two will be the regular season review, and then, of course, our horrific postseason review from our one game. Those will be the first two articles I post. Also, there will be a link to this channel in there, and we're looking at getting some apparel providers included on the website. Those of you that have been with me and watched me over the years, you know I just bleed this team. And going to the draft as a member of the South Florida Tribune Press, it was an amazing opportunity, and I want to thank Scott Morganroth and Candy Epling for that opportunity. But it's time. It's time for me to spread my wings and do it on my own. So Dan Leonard and I are creating the website. Right. Absolutely, Jim Jackson. I agree. I think Allen gets the MVP. I don't know why. I think Saquon or Derrick Henry gets the offensive player of the year. Because both of those guys, without them, I don't think either team has the success they did. And defensively, I think it's Trey Hendrickson. Thank you, Will. And I want to thank each and every one of you for being a part of making me feel successful, even though it's moderate. I haven't begged you guys for subs, but yet you still help me get them. And I appreciate each and every one of you that watch my show daily. I love it when you bring people in and I see new names pop up in the chat, whether they're from this team or another team. What will be our motto next year? What will be our motto next year? That's what I'm wondering. This year it was It Takes More. Is it more is not enough? It takes help. Um, a lot of my success is due to Huddle Sports Network and going live into the Amazon Roku app, where you guys can see this ugly mug on a TV that belongs on radio. And I'm not ashamed to say that. I'm not a young man, but I'm not an old man either. I'm 54. I've seen a lot with this team. They didn't get fired, and I've asked you not to do that. We're at 565 subs. Probably going to 564 right now. How about it takes even more? That's not bad. I like more is not enough. I like more is not enough because we did it takes more this season and we didn't win a playoff game. Okie do. Thank you for joining. I mean, Hank Fraley staying is the biggest news we got this week. In what capacity, we don't know. They're saying it could be an offer from somebody else later on, but as of right now, there's no more offers. More is not enough. It's great. I think that's what I'm running with. I'm going to make a meme about it and use that as the show cover. By the way, I do not have a Jeremy B. Jr., Jeremy B. the second, Jeremy B. the third, any of that. That's a troll account. I hate he uses my pictures. Motto, this one's for Dan. Just a thought. Cool. What's up, King SJ? Happy birthday to your wife yesterday. I saw that. Congratulations to her. Don't know how old she is. Don't want to know. Not my wife. Oh, nice. Have fun with that. I love it when people are getting new things. I'm getting my new website, and once it's done, I will have the QR link in here so you guys can check it out. It'll be new. When it's new, that means there's going to be not that many articles, probably a lot of ads. Henry Gray, good to see you. And the reason why I'm doing this is my time at the South Florida Tribune is now done. So it's time for me to spread my own wings. It's time for me to do more. It's time for me to have it take more. I'm not willing to give up my passion on writing about the Lions. I'm not willing to give up my passion on broadcasting about the Lions. I'm not willing to stop trying to give you guys the news as soon as I hear it. I'm getting a new OC in DC. Yes, we are. Yes, we are, Don. We're getting a new OC in DC. And so are about what is there, six jobs out there? You remember when Ben Johnson was promoted when we to be our passing game coordinator and play caller in 2021, and they did an interview. He goes, "What? We've had 8 coaches be hired. I doubt any of them are a coach in 3 years. You know, the only 2 left out of that whole coaching class is Sirianni and Dan Campbell. That's it. 8 coaches, 6 of them are fired. Arthur Smith, Dennis Allen, Brandon Staley, who should have been fired after year 1. God, he was sucked. It is Hank staying, from what I'm hearing out of Allen Park. Chicago is not likely to give him a OC job, and he walked away and didn't take the job from his second interview in Seattle earlier this week. Oh, wife's listening to her. All right. Yeah, 6 out of the 8 hired in 2021 are fired. No longer coaches in the NFL as far as head coaches are concerned. I do have a couple of new Cobb pictures for you. As of right now, it looks like Hank Fraley's staying. And I don't know if it's because he wants to be a play calling offensive coordinator or he's just happy in his role as offensive line coach. So we're going to see the development on that. I'll hear more about it as we go. Like I said, we are in contract talks about extending Kevin Zietler. So that makes me happy. If we keep Zietler, do we get rid of Glasgow or keep him as depth? Because he was awful as a starter at left guard this year. His natural position is right guard. He did much better over there at right guard in 2023 than he did at left guard in 2024. And Taylor Decker's only good as who plays next to him, which coincidentally, Taylor Decker's best game was when Christian Mahogany played next to him. The one game that Frank had to miss because we had to move Glasgow to center. Does everybody remember that? You guys remember when I was at the draft and all the draft pundits were saying, oh, he has one leg shorter than the other. He can only play right guard. Comes in. I think he scored a higher grade at left guard that day starting. You guys like that? Yeah, boot guard, thank you for the pictures. Did anyone ever pick up Antoine Green? No, Antoine Green ended up on the injured reserve, if you remember right. He got hurt in the last preseason game. He couldn't be picked up. He was medically waived, and I don't know if he's on the. He might even still be on the roster. Let me look. Yeah, he's still on the roster. He served the year on IR, so he'll be back. Oh my God, he looks so natural the way he's that calm. I think the way he looked on Thanksgiving eating the corn on the cob is why Ben Johnson went there because you remember he's married with kids. He probably doesn't get a cob eater anymore. He never got a second one, so I don't think he's in the running for GM. But if Aaron Glenn has any say, he might actually ask him. Randall Cobb would be scared of Caleb's pictures. Now what we got to do is figure out how to get those two with that other one into a GIF and have it scroll right through seamlessly. Because that would be great. I want to thank everybody for being with me. It's been a rough week for us as Lions fans. We had high expectations and they were failed. We got humbled as fans. Did we not? Nobody expected that. And now it's time to look forward to next year. So I'm going to start doing some scouting, watching more college games this weekend because I don't even know if I can handle watching NFL football. See some people I like. Try to see if there's any of those college draft preview articles out there yet. And what's funny is Caleb actually graduated with a degree in tech, nail tech. He can teach Ben Johnson. Just saying. We're very excited, Wilma. It is time to talk about my sponsor. The one, the only, branded service at the corner of South Grand Traverse and West Atherton Road, 602 West Atherton Road. Where? In Flint, where the water's shit, but the tires are good. Stop in and check us out. Used tires starting at $45 and up. New tires, call to get your quote. They are delivered within 1 to 2 business days. Call 810-233-8230. Talk to George or Red. Tell them Smoking Jeremy B sent you, especially if you're buying a set of tires. New tires, you will get a $25 discount. Used tires, you will get a $10 discount when buying sets of tires. Van is not for sale still. I'm trying. I am working on getting another automotive place as a sponsor. I still have my buddy Gloss in the ground, but he hasn't decided to do it. That's up to him. But looking at an auto shop that's relatively new up in the Tri Cities, I am never eating corn on the. I will never eat it the way he does. Tail. I'm just saying. I've never seen anybody eat it that way, and I don't want to. But try every day to be a better person than you were the day before. That's the only way to make the world a better place. It starts right here. More is not enough. No extra stuff off to the side. Just more is not enough across it. I think that works. Have a great day, everybody, and